Hi guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Danielle Dove and I'm a Jamaican living and working in Japan. In today's video, I want to talk about the microaggression and the racism in Japan. Now, this microaggression, low-key racism, it comes in different forms, different levels, from babies all the way up. But I just want to shed some light on the things that I've seen and that I have faced living and working here. Now, the microaggression that I speak of comes from both Japanese people and non-Japanese people living here in this country. Coming from Jamaica, I cannot say that I've experienced a racism in Jamaica, but there's definitely classism there, and it was just like, oh, what the hell is this? So everything that I've experienced has been completely new for me. So let's just get into some of the things that I have experienced. I have a list of things. So let me start with, before going into all the microaggression, let me start with just the plain outright ignorance of most of the people living here. Yes, Japan is an island country, and yes, it has been cut off from the world for a period of time, or it had been cut off for a period of time. However, it's 2019, and therefore some of the questions that I get asked, it's just straight out like peculiar, very, very just weird. And I'm like, it's 2019 and we all have access to the internet, and you think that because this is a technologically advanced country that the people would be privy to certain things and think or use their brains just to figure certain things out. Living in Jamaica, I've been exposed to all races. Like, you have white Jamaicans, Asian Jamaicans, Indian Jamaicans, and black Jamaicans. So we're all mixed. Our motto is out of many one people. So I have definitely been exposed to people of all races, shapes, forms, color. So there's definitely no discrimination on my part, or to say, I don't even know what to frame it as, or what to term it as. It just all came as a shock to me how ignorant people are here. And it's not just Japanese people that are ignorant. People from other countries who you would expect to know some information about us as black people still don't know. And that just pointed out to me how people are just tuned in to their own experiences, their own what they were maybe taught in schools, and what is in front of them maybe online, things that they enjoy. And I can honestly say that I don't know everything about every race and every culture. A lot of things about Japanese people I've learned, because there is definitely a stereotype looking from the outside in, but when you're actually living here, you get to realize a lot of nuances and things that aren't really true. So ignorance is definitely both not Japanese and from non-Japanese people. When people are gonna ask about questions about black hair and black history, and why certain things are the way they are, it really came as a shock that people are truly living and being ignorant when there is the internet, and you can go on the internet and find out information. A lot of what I know about Japan, I just became extremely curious when I got here. Curious about World War III, why Japanese people are the way they are, their behavior and why they behave the way they behave. Even a lot of Japanese people, they have their culture and they do not know why they do a lot of things in their culture. It's tradition. It has been passed on, and I wanted to know why. I've asked people, Japanese people, and they cannot tell me. So then they couldn't tell me, so I had to go in search on the internet, and sometimes I find myself informing them about their own culture and why they do some of the things they do here, which I won't get into. So there's just the ignorance that I've experienced, like plain outright ignorance. The next thing that I have experienced, the microaggression now. So the ignorance aside, now the microaggression. I faced that on the train. So walking on the train, you just get the immediate. I used to live in Niigata, Nagaoka, the rural area of Japan. So living there, I did expect people to be ignorant. I expected people to be shy and not want to talk to me as a black person because I'm weird. And then we were kind of privy to it, but companies don't really tell you that you're going to face these things. And the experience of a black person in Japan is completely different from other races or people from other races. Yes, some of us tend to get the same treatment because we're all foreigners, we're all kaijins, and so we're grouped in, we're outside people. But definitely you have races or people who are considered to be, above others, and they get preferential treatment, definitely. So in Niigata, I expected to be treated differently, like an outcast, or you're different from me. And however, I would expect people to be curious and want to learn about me and know more information, but it wasn't like that. It just really felt as if I don't belong here, and that was feeling right throughout when I was there for 1 year. Very few times you actually meet people, and yes, they're shy in nature, but you definitely meet people who would actually be curious and be nice. And don't get me wrong, there are people who have been very nice. Like when I just came to Japan, I was in Nagoya, and I was searching for one of my schools one day. I was literally lost, and then I stopped this woman. She didn't know any English at all, but she knew the school that I was looking for, and she actually took me in her car and gave me a ride to the school. And I was like, oh, that is so sweet. And I was very much appreciative of that because I just got to Japan and I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, like reading the maps. The maps, oh my god, the school maps are crazy and not very accurate 100% of the time. So I was very grateful. So there are people like that you will find. They want to embrace you, they want to talk to you, they want to find out as much about you, but it's kind of like you still don't know if they're actually open to you, or maybe kind of just fascinated or want to show off, oh, I know a foreigner here, so it's kind of like, it's tricky like that, but I won't get into that in this video. So there are definitely nice people, and then there are definitely those that just look at you like, oh my god, stranger, dangerous, run from you. So on the trains in Niigata, I experienced people like, you go on the train, you sit down, they shuffle up, they don't want to come beside you, and that does take a toll on you psychologically. You're wondering, why I'm just as much human as you are, and I don't look at you that way. Why are you looking at me this way? And it just gets into your mind, and I struggled with that for a bit, and it was my first time ever coming in contact with a situation or situations like that. And so because I really couldn't take it anymore, I moved from Niigata to Tokyo. Now coming to Tokyo, I was like, oh, it's Tokyo International, people are gonna embrace me, people of all races and culture live here, from all races and cultural background live here, so definitely I'm gonna have a better experience in Tokyo. Do you think? No, I did not have a better experience moving to Tokyo. It was more or less the same, and just cold. People are just like minding their own business, and no one talks to you. People are just as much closed off as much as they are in the country area. The point of view is the same. Very few times you'll actually walk into people who are actually interested in learning and being open to people from other races and cultural backgrounds. Very few times. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's not very common. And so when you do find it, you just get this sense of, oh my God, like somebody who sees me as a human being. And I'm not joking about that. Like somebody who is actually open and aware that there are other countries out there and people living their lives in another country, and Japan is not the only place on earth. So definitely the microaggression came, or I've experienced microaggression in people not wanting to interact with me. And on the trains, they think that you're gonna rob them, so they hold their handbags close to them, or you sit down, they don't want to touch you. You go on the train, they immediately shuffle because they don't want to be anywhere near you on the train. So I've experienced that. Now in the classroom, on the classroom side of things, kids definitely cry, and that is expected of kids. They're leaving their moms and their dads and they're coming to a stranger that doesn't look anything like them. So I definitely understand that from a kid's perspective. But when you walk into a classroom and an adult is going to be like, oh, and then it's like you cannot react in that situation the way you want to react. Now you have to just be professional and smile and pretend that everything is okay, and it's actually not. So those things did take a toll. Now I just ignore it. It's like, it's not happening so much now, and I think that because Tokyo 2020 is coming up, so they're kind of more open, and they know that foreign invasion is coming pretty soon. So it's like they are kind of slowly warming up and changing. I don't really get that so much now. It's either that or I've just become immune to it, and I just block it and ignore it when it does happen for my sake. Nothing is wrong with me, nothing is wrong with black people, and so I'm not allowing them to make me feel any type of way about being black. The next thing that I have faced is walking on the streets here. Walking on the streets, particularly in the communities where people live, the residential areas. If I'm walking by myself or I'm walking with my friend and there's a Japanese person coming in the opposite direction, they're definitely crossing the street over into the other side. Well, that has happened. It doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened to me on different occasions where they do not want to, they just get scared immediately. And I don't know if that's so much microaggression, but I don't know what to term it, but maybe just being fearful of black people. And it's just really like makes you look at yourself and think and wonder what goes through their minds when they see you. Like, the conditioning is worrisome, and I don't know. I still don't know what to think about it, how to feel about it. But maybe I just like I have gotten to a place where I just ignore certain things, and it happens. I see it. I'm like, oh, whatever, because it's the norm, and I'm just looking at them and just maybe pity them because of the ignorance. Not everyone is like this. So I'm not making it seem as if that's the situation all the time. And I've found that it is happening less and less. but occasionally there's just this one person that, you know, you're walking and they suddenly feel threatened, or if you, let's say your bag falls or you make any sudden movement, they just take off running because they're just scared in the moment because you're a foreigner. And again, it's just, you know, psychologically it does something to you, for people to view you in that light. And therefore you just have to know who you are, be confident in who you are, and know that it's not you, you know, it's just not you. It's just, you know, their mindset and how they were conditioned to think. Now, I find that with the younger generation, they are much more open and accepting. And like, if you see students outside, they want to say hey, hello, they're excited to talk to you. That has happened. And they are becoming more open. You know, they see foreigners as fun time, because, you know, teaching English, that's how they market it, as something that's, you know, fun. So fun time, yay, sensei Danielle, fun. And so they see you in that light, and their image of, you know, a foreigner, particularly a black foreigner, is definitely being affected. And so I would hope that as young children growing up, their perception of the world, the rest of the world, would be more balanced, rather than just thinking that, oh, all foreigners are bad, black people are bad. So I'm hoping that it really changes for the younger generation to come. It's slow, it's very slow, snail pace, but I'm seeing, you know, improvements, and that gives me hope for them and their society, because their population is shrinking. And whether or not they want to accept it or admit it, they are going to have to, you know, be more open to accepting foreigners, so that they can continue on as a race, or as a people, as a country. So guys, that was what I had to share with you on my experience with the ignorance and microaggression and low-key racism that we faced here. I didn't want to get into, you know, most of the stuff, but just to give you some insight into what it is that we have to go through. And I must say that all of this experience has just made me a stronger person. I have stopped looking at it from a negative perspective. I'm learning so much about people, how to deal with people and in different situations. And so I'm just like taking it all in, because my outlook is, I'm here for a reason, I'm here for a purpose. And some way along my journey, along the rest of my life, this experience is gonna take me to a place, or give me the tools that I need to rely on when I reach further in my journey. And so that's the mindset that I have, that's the position that I've taken. And so every experience here, I'm just using it to learn and to grow. So thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Danielle Dove. Please follow me on Instagram at beingdanny. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.